I'm doing one last walk here back to the area where just heard something. Oh, that's a dog. Oh, there's a little baby deer. Little fawn, right where I'm going. So that tells me that there's no Bigfoot back here right now. But yeah, look at her. A little jumpy. But my curiosity back here is that we get a weird feeling. Oh, there's Mama. There's Mama. They're going right where I want to go. Sadly, I'm gonna follow them. I don't want to scare them, but that right there, I believe, is where he's got his water pumps. And he says he gets a weird feeling every time he's over here. He's also said there's a smokehouse back in here where he does his salmon. But I talked to him and his son, and without saying anything to them, this is also the place where I got a weird feeling. Oddly enough, right after I got that weird feeling, he told me that this is where he got those track casts, or well, I'll just say that sign of something that he believes had, at the time he thought, well, it must have jumped down out of my apple tree. So I'm just gonna walk this area and point out that those deer went right into the area where I get that weird feeling. And I talked to him about this idea of day watchers, and how that, you know, when you live on property in the area where they live, they know like your every move, according to some people who have habituation sites. But you can almost see there's a trail right there, and there's another one over here. But at any rate, I'm just going to review real quick. This tree here is the one that has apples in it. And again, he thought that there were some little ones up in there. And you can see a bunch of apples right now, right there. And you know, they're green yet, they're starting to turn, but he said it happened later in the summer, so when they were ripe, late summer actually, so they were probably already some on the ground. But like right now, you know, I don't see a whole lot of evidence of anything in here. But the woodpecker activity, we saw this tree's kind of been tore up by woodpeckers, getting bugs or making little holes to have bugs land in. So this tree here, and then it was down in this area where, you know, of course this is the property he goes on, but this is when it rained and it was muddy. We got some tracks that were heading the direction I'm walking in now. And unfortunately, the footprints, somebody had a Labrador or some dog had run all through them. So none of those were very good, but his tracks here were really good finger impressions. Now here's some fresh mud. And so it looks like some kind of bird. Probably one of his turkey's turds there. You can see some little, looks like to me, little deer tracks there. So obviously nothing that important. There's a little butterfly. Okay. But this is the area. I mean, right now you can see there's water running through here. He said it runs down and out over there. But when it rains, this area back here is what gets muddy, and where he found the tracks. And again, he believes that they were eating apples out of this tree. Now, again, that having been said, he and his son and myself, when I first arrived here, walking back on the property, get a weird feeling over here, like we're being, you know, watched or whatever. And this must be his smokehouse right there, I'm guessing, where he, you know, does his fish and whatnot. And he said he's surprised that it's never been broken into by bear or anything else. But again, my weird feeling comes from back in here, so I'm gonna do like I did with the sharks and diving in the water. And it's daytime now, it's about midday, 11:56. Just gonna kind of walk in here, and the fact that those two deer went in there gives me even more feeling of it's okay, because I don't think they'd be going in there if there was a predator. But it's pretty overgrown. Like the path just ended right here. And I don't see I'm gonna take a leak real quick. I don't see anywhere back there. Now this tree here would be an easy one to climb by one that wouldn't weigh too much. So they could sit up in there maybe and watch. But again, then if they were sitting there doing something, I would expect that some of that bark to be wore off. But I don't know. But there's just enough woods right here where I think that one could be in here kind of keeping an eye on him during the day, you know, day watching, if such thing happens with it. He said it was open behind there. That's not very open to me. But you know, he's been living out here, so I'll take his definition over mine. But this is the area where obviously things are moving through here. You can see, oh yeah, the area I just went in, I don't think anything goes through there, but man, these are just some serious game trails here. I mean, something's going through there. Let's see if I can get my finger on camera. All the way out. And then there's trails going straight up through and branching. So there are a lot of game trails in there. And to me, without going back in there, it looks like things could get in and out of here. Now, if it was me, I would sweep all this out, throw some flour or like, you know, some soft soil in here and just see what kind of tracks I got. But then again, that might make the animals not want to go through there. I don't know. Just a thought. But I left my 2 game cams with him. And I said, you know, you might want to put a couple back in here somewhere. I know they got the infrared, but, you know, hopefully you'll at least get some bear or some, you know, cougar or whatever, you know, other predators, and then just the other animals that they eat, the deer and everything else. So, hey, I live in Los Angeles, so I don't get many cool Woo! I didn't hear a knock, but I thought I heard a whoop. Well, I'm gonna drive out and see if I can't find where that game trail back there comes out on the road, because the road I came in on is just the other side of this little section of woods here. And when I say road, I'm just talking, you know, it's a dirt road, and there's only a few people that live up here. He's got one neighbor whose driveway I went down right next to his, so they're basically like their properties are touching each other up here. But then when you go in the direction I went last night, he told me that to one direction there's nothing but woods till the river. The other direction there's nothing but woods to the river. Now, he doesn't own all that land. Forestry Service and some other private landowner do, but I think that he knows them or whatever and goes back there without any issues. Uh-oh. I'm gonna start a new film now. I just found something interesting.